So, who can you trust? Who's already lying? Maybe who's changed? It feels like a conversation needs to take place. Who would like to begin?
I would like to begin.
Diane.
Wow.
Yep. So this started for me the very first day we arrived. We had to stand in a line. Because of last year, I wanted to be in the middle. And I went and stood beside Anthony to get into the line, and he looked down at me and he said, well, he just wouldn't move. And I said, could I get in, please? And he still continued to look at me and wouldn't move. Now that, to me, smacks of somebody who's out for themselves. Absolutely not having that.
Quite simply, at the start, when we were in line, and myself and John were trying to get in order, you have not spoken to me, you have not hugged me. I've spoken to practically every person in this room. If I got a problem with anybody, I will come straight to them and deal with them. Why is it it's only now that you decide to do that?
In fairness, I do find you to be very defensive, and you know me and you get on, and I have seen a few times that there seems to be a change in demeanour since the day we met on the platform. Like, you were so happy and so bubbly.
Really?
It just ringing in my head is someone cracking under a little bit of pressure there.
If somebody accuses me of something that I know is not so, why should I go, OK, then, you know, no.
Just add my 2 pence. I don't think Anti's a traitor. I know it's not worth much in this conversation. I think he's defensive. I don't think it makes you a traitor.
I'll be completely honest and open the floor of what suspicions I've heard.
Go on.
I've heard about you, Andrew. At the beginning of the challenge today, you were saying that how it's not about the shield, it's not about the shield, it's not about the shield. However, when the mission first started, you directed the group to go for the shield straight away.
I just said the whole group didn't agree on that.
That's what I heard.
So shall I pick?
Now you can pick
so
up.
that was me. So if we're trying to pick a name, the name I thought was you. And
right.
To be honest, it was that comment, forget the shields. And then we got together and it was, let's go get the shields. But then I'm with you as well, and I agreed.
Yesterday, people went for shields and put no effort or a contribution at all, and I got a problem with that. We got everything we did today, so we couldn't do any more today than what we did. We done everything, and the shield was a bonus on top. The shield was quite close to us.
My thing is that I felt like the challenge was more important. Of course I would want the shield. It would be unfair for me to go for the shield first because I haven't completed the challenge, and the people at the castle...
Is that not hypocritical?
It's not hypocritical.
You did the same thing yesterday.
It's not hypocritical. We all had to run past the shield. Yesterday, everyone had the equal opportunity to get a shield. I didn't have an equal opportunity because I can't swim.
The issue is...
No, she's talking.
Exactly.
Just for a minute, please.
So therefore, the 2 shields in the sea were not up for grabs for me.
The reason why I say it's hypocritical is you can't say you're doing it for the team instead when people were still bound when he went for it. I was untying Miles and I saw you run for it.
No, I asked someone, does anybody need help?
I let you talk, let me talk.
Sorry.
Suggest that you did it for the team, but he didn't. Is this hypocritical?
I just want to know who the traitor is. Please, I just want to say my suspicion, because we're on that topic, yeah? So obviously I've got nothing to go off, and like honestly, the only thing I've got to go off is you, Zach, as a traitor, because for me, it's like you're always a laughy guy and stuff like that, and the only thing I've got to go off is the round table of when the traitors were chosen. You were laughing at anything, any sound, like you was all making like laughs. You know what I mean?
But
yeah, no, but when you took the blindfold off, it was like a different, as if like it was like something had happened. So I just wanted to put that out there. That's all I've had to go off.
I've got a suspicion, and it's only based on what I have witnessed and what's happened to me. And Sonia, that's yourself.
Yeah.
Yesterday in the task, Zach, you made a comment saying, I'll sleep well tonight. And then me and Evie joked and we said, oh, will you now, you know? Potentially that's traitor speak. Obviously, we know what you're like. You chat, you joke. We said, but that's just Zach, you know, he runs his mouth, he's like a little Jack Russell. And then went into some room, and there was a group of you, including yourself, Sonia, and you went, just the man we want to see, to me. And then, Sonia, you went, just tell them all what you said that Zach said. So, in my opinion, you were giving it a little stir.
I'm taking this as evidence and information that I'm obviously gathering pretty much now. Obviously, when you hear about it, it looks like deflection.
I think it's really about stirring. I've seen you directly do this. You're starting a conversation and immediately, before you say anything, oh, well, you're a traitor, so... I feel uneasy about it, basically.
I can see why you're saying it. If I was a traitor, which I'm not, then I think I'd be making an effort to actually build alliances and friends. I can look you all in the eye and say, I am a faithful. Whatever you think, you're wasting your vote. Don't do it, guys.
I'm going to say here, I don't think you're a traitor, by the way.
I think, like everybody else, like, we're just clutching at straws here.
Yep.
There's a lot of direction going towards you, Sonia.
Yeah.
And if I choose you tonight, and it's not you, I'm sorry, Ross, but I'll be looking at you after this.
Ooh, strong words.
Yeah. 3 other people have also made a point about Sonia, so why would you target me?
Because I just feel like the direction's coming from you. And I'm just sitting and observing, right? I'm not saying, you're definitely a traitor. I'm saying I'm going to be looking at you.
Has anyone got any general ideas at all?
Yeah, can I begin? So I feel like yesterday we all went with our gut and we got that massively wrong. So I was looking for signs, and I'm gonna vote Aaron as a traitor because I love you as a person, Aaron. I think you're great, but you held up Imran, and I feel like if you was a traitor and you knew Nikki was a faithful, everyone's voting for a faithful. Oh, I'm gonna seem like such a good guy if I send everyone off in a different direction to Imran. And I'm gonna send them down that rabbit hole tonight, so everyone votes Imran tonight. You're the only one, and Wilf, I think, mentioned Imran.
Yeah, I did.
OK, first of all, I wasn't the only one here yesterday that thought Imran was the traitor. But when people got here, then they started pointing the finger. Now, I would say I'm quite like an honest person, so I voted for Imran. I didn't want to get swayed at all, and that was like my mindset behind it. If you think that, like, that's fair enough.
All I'm saying is, if you guys were traitors, you'd know Nikki was a faithful. So already you're one up on us, so you know she's a faithful.
Yeah, I knew she was a faithful the whole long. I literally was telling people, I was like, I genuinely think she is, and none of you guys believed it. I sat here and went, I can do the smart thing right now, and I could say,
but
yeah,
is that
I'm going to
because
go
you're
with...
a traitor?
Maddie, she's the only person who's going to be detrimental to me. The thing is, her theories are just ridiculous, but she's right about me.
And just going off of that, and like, you know, this morning we also have to think about, you know, it was Claire and Aisha that were murdered. We need to think tactics.
Why?
This hasn't been mentioned yet.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I agree.
Why? What's their thought process behind this? And the only thing I can think of is deflection. They're 2 of the same group. And in that group, and I'm so sorry, Aaron, is yourself. And I know I made this joke this morning and I was just like, oh, we have a Ted Bundy on our hands. And Ted Bundy is charismatic, good-looking and sweet. And that's you, my love.
Paul's probably recruited someone at the very least.
I know you all think it's me, but I was having suspicions. We didn't have any big row when I put a name, but he has had a row with every traitor that's gone against him. So I would be looking at people he has had disagreements with.
Like who?
Well, I know he's had disagreements with yourself.
What,
I'm not saying I think you are a traitor, but I'm just listing the facts. Pardon?
You think he'd recruit direct, Jazz?
Potentially, yeah. I think he could recruit a number of people.
Is there anyone else?
Personally, I think the person that was recruited was Jasmine. There's just a few things that don't add up for me. You were interested in going at Jazz. Yet when it comes to turning the slates, you had Paul on there.
Yeah.
And I couldn't help thinking, is it because all of us obviously voiced our opinions about Paul that you thought, oh, maybe I could get my traitor out now and just take it for myself?
OK, there's a few places to start. First of all, before the round table, I was between Paul and Jazz. Jazz was definitely on my list, but, like, I wasn't like, I'm definitely going for him. I think that you are being really suspicious today.
No.
I think, well, look, I think you are. I think you're doing a lot of overcompensating of the fact that Charlie's gone. You're really, really honing in on the fact that you're a faithful through and through and through and through. And it's like...
Well, you accused me this morning, so of course I am.
Sorry, Charlotte, when you were speaking, did I interrupt you?
I'm going to get defensive when someone's telling me that I'm not faithful. I've got a clean sheet of literally voting every traitor here. I've never hid any information.
Okay.
I've never done anything other than work my arse off emissions.
You're getting very, very defensive.
I am, because I'm passionate about this. And I get that you might see that as, like, an angry girl, but I'm not angry at any one of you. I love the bones of every one of you, and it might seem like I'm angry at you, but I love the bones of you. Why are you giving that look like I don't? I think you're awesome.
Yeah,
and now you're,
great.
like, rolling your eyes like I'm not. You're making this personal, not me.
I did just want to say something as well. I know it keeps getting brought up about Charlie. It just seemed a bit strange for me because 1 minute you were like that,
yeah,
and then obviously last night she's bringing you up at the table.
Yeah.
It just seems odd to me that, like, today when she's gone, it's like, oh, she was my best friend, like you.
She is my best friend here, not in life, obviously, but
I do
here.
get it.
You weren't sat at all the times we were sat talking. It's hardly like I'm making this up, is it?
And I just also think if you were asked to recruit someone and you say Charlie's your best friend, would you have tried to do that last night?
No, because
and
she's
she said
terrible.
no?
No offence, but she barely can sit at a table. Why the hell would I recruit someone like that?
Okay. Jazz, I'm really sorry to do this to you again tonight. I'm finding it a bit confusing when I kind of go to you and ask you what your thoughts are about the day. It's very much like you don't want to say it in front of anyone else and you want to go for private chats. I just wondered why that was.
For me, it's very much trying to establish the people that I trust and get their advice. I think that's what I've started to do, and it sort of got me to this position, so I feel like just continue doing that.
Like, we're at the point where we need to work as a team. Like, there's not many of us now.
I agree.
We can't really be having just private conversations. It kind of needs to be out in the open.
But like I've said to
protect
you
yourself
before,
as well.
Molly, it's a matter of having private conversations with people that you trust.
I do the same, to be honest.
Exactly.
People I trust, I talk to.
Yeah.
It's hard. Like, does anybody really 100% trust anybody?
No.
You can't. To me, it's the name of the game at the end of the day.
No.
Do you know what I mean? I voted for you a few times, but after you've seen your reaction last night, I think you're probably faithful, I think.
I appreciate that.
Does anyone else have any, like, suspicions of anyone else? Anyone want to build on anything anyone else?
I just want to build on the why you shifted from Jazz, because last night, if I was teetering on the brink of Paul or Jazz, I would have voted Jazz.
Yeah. The Paul suspicion had been, like, a longer suspicion than the Jazz suspicion, so I just thought, let me just go with my original gut.
Because you didn't tell me ever you were, like, on the same lines as me, Evie and Harry.
Just because I didn't raise it with you doesn't mean that I didn't have the suspicion. Like, you are not.
No, but you haven't raised it with anyone, it seems. But you very confidently switched after what happened yesterday.
I can only put one name down on a slate, so I just went with my gut feeling, which was Paul. It doesn't mean I wasn't suspicious of Jazz as well.
It does just look convenient, though, doesn't it?
Well, if it looks convenient, it looks convenient. Just because I didn't share with you my suspicions of Paul doesn't make me a traitor, just means that I didn't share with you my suspicions of Paul.
You've not been hesitant at all before.
I just don't share with you every single thought that I have, and I just feel like this is a bit of a redundant conversation. I just don't understand what your point is.
OK,